All right, folks. So here, I feel a need to come on here for a few minutes and go ahead and make a little cut on it. And I want to explain something about the guests that I get. Okay, a lot of people are going to have a lot of things to say. Some of it's going to be true, I'm sure. Some of it's not. Also sure of that. But no trust and believe. I wing most of these interviews. The questions will come up as we conversate. I already know that. So I don't care about a guy's history or nothing. I care about the interest of what he has to say. People can come in the comment section. They can say what they want, hash it out. I'm not going to respond to a lot of that negative stuff either, because if you have an issue with a guest, what your issue is with them. And if you post something and they feel a need to come back on to try to clear some things up, well, I may or may not give them the chance to do that. I probably will, because I want a fair shake for everybody. But they can also go on and comment to your comments just like you do. So I let all that go. Um, Michael Bridge, Snake came on. There's a lot of guys that really like that guy. There's a lot of guys that really don't. I know some of his history, most of his history. Well, I know all of his history. But again, it's not my job to get on here and convey to everybody where he's been, where he's at, or where he's going. It's my trip. I'm going to come on here. I'm going to give you guys the content. Let them give you the content. Let them speak their voice on how they want to put it out there. And if somebody thinks that they're not telling the truth, they can get on there and make a comment, man. It's no big deal. That's what it's for. That's what it's about. I realize this. Like, I had somebody comment on mine that said that, oh, you got hit in the spleen and you're still alive. Well, apparently that guy's no doctor. He doesn't know much about anatomy, because you can function for quite a bit with a hit to the spleen for a minute. And a lot of times that spleen will heal itself up. It's just the way it is. So that dude's not a doctor, and he doesn't even play one on TV. And I take these things, if I look at it, and I take it for what it's worth, you know. So, and then here's the thing too, you got to take into account is some guys make comments that just sound outlandish. You know they're not true. You know they're outlandish, but you know that doesn't mean that that individual doesn't think, with whatever limited knowledge they have, that that is the truth. So you got to take into account that they're speaking their truth. Some of them guys, even though their truth happens to not be based in reality. So if I got on here and I get after every comment, every get down, I'm not going to be able to accomplish what I'm trying to accomplish, which is to bring you guys good content. And at the end of the day, I want this channel to blow up. I'll tell you why I want it to blow up. I take nothing from nothing. My book, the Encyclopedia of Self-Help, that goes to prisoners for free. And any money made off of it goes to the website. And it pays for things to help incarcerated vets, to help people prevent recidivism, get out and make some change, to help some veterans and even other people that are homeless, man, to get them tents, to do whatever I can do. I don't mess with that. In fact, I'm way behind. I'm probably, me and my wife together are probably at this point sitting $30,000 in debt or behind the eight ball on the whole nonprofit and all of this stuff. Do we expect to ever recover that money, all that money? No. Um, a time may come when my wife can recover what she's given me to put into it, and I certainly want her to do that. But I have no desire, no overwhelming deal to try to get in there and get anything back I put on it. I feel like I owe this to society. Not only that, I owe this to some of them guys on them prison yards that I shook their hand and called them brother and told them I wouldn't let them down. And I'm not going to be the guy that does, that makes the promises, gets out, and then doesn't keep his promise. So this whole thing for me is to help. Publicity is publicity. I learned that. Just like a dog. A dog seeks attention. They don't care if they're doing something wrong to get you to look at them, or they're doing something right. The only thing that matters to them is that they're getting your attention when it happens. And that's the way dogs are. Animals are that way. Dogs are that way, especially. And so same thing on this internet, I'm finding out, is that attention is attention. And that's what I need to be able to, and I want to help these at-risk youth, and so does Chris. The name calling, all of that, you know, I'm above it. I'm not going to sit down here and call people names, and I am not going to react to somebody on the comment section calling me or any one of the guest names. You can call him a rat, fly by night motherfucker. I don't care. Look, I'm not dating that motherfucker. Call him anything you want to. And if he chooses to go in the comment section and respond, hey, look, at the end of the day, I may be the host of this channel, one of them, and their guest, but that comment section in this channel really belongs to you guys. You guys that are looking at it, you guys that are watching it, you guys that are making judgment calls. I'm going to bring guests on here, man, that there is no doubt When they got busted, they shook the house down, probably got half of everybody they've ever associated locked up. All of that. I don't look into that. I don't really, in order to be a good host right here and bring you the content that's worth viewing, I have to be indifferent to a lot of stuff. I, for one, don't do anything wrong now, so I don't have to worry about whether or not somebody's a rat. Nothing to tell on me for. You're gonna tell on me for trying to help people. Maybe I'll get some kind of funding out of that. I don't know. So I'm just the whole thing about he's no good, he's this, he's that, and they paid him 2 snow cones and a moon pie to put his brother in prison. I'm indifferent to all that stuff right there because I don't do anything wrong. I don't have to worry about who's telling and who's not. That's where I'm at in life. That I just don't worry about it anymore, and it's a good feeling to not have to worry about any of that. It feels real good. And my gig, my whole get down in life now is to try to convey that feeling, help other people who are at that point in their life. Not everybody's there. Some people are, and they want to get to a point to where they're not doing nothing wrong. So they don't have to sweat when they walk out their door that the cop is down the street pulled over because you know what? He's not down there to look at them and they know it. I'm trying to help people get to that point. And then there's at-risk youth. If you don't think society right now is getting ready to turn on our youth and start locking them up, just take a look at Trump and D.C. and what's going on there right now. Here's what they're doing. Cracking down on D.C. All them youngsters that are committing all them crimes and stuff in D.C., what are they going to do? Well, while that big heavy hand is on D.C., they're going to run to Virginia, West Virginia, and some of them surrounding states, Maine and all that, and they're going to commit their crimes, and those police over there are going to bust them, and them juvenile laws that existed in D.C. don't exist there, and them poor motherfuckers are going to go to jail because nobody's telling them any better. They don't know any better. Well, me, Chris, Sandman, the whole get down here, we want to get in there and we want to let these guys know ahead of time. We want to help these kids not ever go to prison. And that ultimately, that's my thing. I enjoy these interviews. I try to ask myself, Ronnie, what do you get out of taking time out of your day, time out of your life to come in here and do a podcast? You know what I get out of it? Because, and nobody probably will admit this when they're coming on here after being free, there's a part of me, a small part of me, man, that's missing because I miss that life back there. You just do. You miss being on top. You miss having control of people. You miss the action. There's just a part of you, I think, that's vacant because you miss it. And I have found that to get on here and hear the stories, share the stories, talk about it, it fills that void. So I don't get in trouble. I don't do anything. It also helps refresh my memory of what it is I don't want to go back to, even though there's a small part of me that misses it. So do I get anything out of this podcast and telling stories and hearing them and shooting the shit and whatnot? Oh, you better believe it. And it says on there that this is for entertainment purposes. I don't fact check anything anybody says. Okay. The comment sections kind of do that, but you got to ask yourself, well, the guy that's doing the fact checking, who is he? Who is he to determine what's real, what's not? Some guys were there with Mike. They lived it. They have an idea. Like I said, I know what went on in the feds. I know what went on in the state. I know his whole story. But as a host, it's not on me to get on here and tell his story because what would be the purpose of having him on here? His name came up several times in the comment section. I said, okay, I know where he's at. I know what he is and isn't doing. I know he'll come on because of who I am, because he knows me. And so he did. And a lot of guys may say he's a PC rat and scaredy cat and blah, blah, blah. Okay, call him all the names you want. I'm not going to. Not who I am as a host. So I'm just going to let you know that I'm going to keep bringing people on. I'm not going to rehearse or investigate their background. I wing it. I get them on there. I get them in here. It doesn't matter. I figure that one sentence is going to lead to the next, and a really good host shouldn't have to do his investigations on dude and let the audience decide. You guys can read comments too, and you'll go through them. I get people on there talking about me like I'm just the worst thing to ever hit the street, and that's all right. You know, my thing is this, right? I know I'm not. I know I'm doing a good thing now, and I know I'm out making a difference in society. If you're such a gangster that you believe in this fucking Mad Max society type get down, I think you're a fucking idiot. I think you're an idiot. Society needs and has to have rules. Like I've said before on some things, I like the idea that I can sit here right now and not have to worry that some pack of rabid animals that call themselves human beings or gangsters is running up in my house, raping my mom, my wife, my dogs, or whatever it is they're into, because I'm not there to protect them. So how do I take care of my family and protect them at the same time? I don't want that kind of society. I've met dudes in prison that I can tell you right now, until that look in their eye changes, they don't never need to be out here in society, period. They're too vicious. They're killers. They have no value on human life. And it's just the way it is. Now, on the other hand, if you're part of an enterprise that's involved dealing dope, criminal enterprise, and all of that, you know what? You're playing by a different set of rules. Society says that doesn't count with them. They're still going to put you in jail for it. But you know what? All the people you're in the game with are playing by the same rules. On some degree, you knew what you got into when you got into it. So if you end up paying a fucked up price and all of that, it's because you chose to get into that type of society. Those guys that want to take that type of society and open up all the US to be some Mad Max scenario, the ones of you that have mothers and fathers and sisters and brothers that aren't into all of that, they go to church on Sunday. They're firm believers in God. They would never raise a hand to hurt nobody. They'll open the door to anybody to see if they need help. You can't leave your house now because you don't know what idiot you've created society that they could exist out there and run up in there and do things to them. So no, I don't believe in that kind of society. So I'm here as a neutral individual doing interviews. People come up on there and they say, hey, they say something about guys on there, and I see it comes up several times. Then if I'm able to get that person on the show, that's what I'm going to do. And there should be some good ones coming down the pipe. And I'm not going to sit there and tell somebody, oh, you're a liar. This is how it went down. They're going to tell their story. And you guys are going to hear it. And let me tell you something. I know that the audience that's going to listen to me and my show is going to be a good audience. They're going to have a truth radar. They're going to know. And I'm going to tell you something right now. If something sounds like extreme bullshit, it isn't always bullshit, but most times it is. So anyways, the comment section, this whole show belongs to you guys. So I'm not going to vet people before I bring them on or anything like that. I will try very hard to never have a sex offender on here, because I just can't be around them. So if they're on here and it turns out that one of them is one of them, it's because I didn't know. And it wasn't around them following them around. But if I do know, they're not going to be on this fucking show. It's not going to happen. And so that's where it's at, guys. I come on. I wanted to cut this. I wanted to lay it all on the line, let you guys know where it's at. And there we go, man. So look forward to, I think Snake's second part is going to come next week. And we can get people calling him some more names. Maybe you'll think of some good new ones by then. And we got a couple that we're going to do today. I don't know when they're going to be released. We got Larry Massa. He's a mobster out of the Colombo crime family, which is, and he was up under a very vicious guy. A killer that had so many bodies. They called him the Grim Reaper. Hello, keep that guy out of a hoodie, right? So you got him. And then I got Bartos, who was a CO. Todd Bartos, and he was a CO in the high desert. That guy's seen a lot, man, and he knows a lot. He now is working in another state at correctional institutions, and he's going to discuss some of the difference between what goes on in these other places versus California. California and Texas, there's a few of them that are the same, but it's just a big difference there. And he's going to come on. So we're doing that today. I don't know when it'll be released, but it's coming at you. And then I got to go away for 5 days. And then I'll be back, and we'll locate some other stuff. It'll come along as it comes along. If it comes down the pipe, I'll snatch it up. I'll try to bring you the best I can. Thank you.